always been somebody who sets goals and sets audacious goals, and I've met them over time. I wanted to be a full-time writer. I am. I wanted to eventually be a best-selling author. I became that recently. But here's what's interesting about this is that I never had a structured process. I always had goals in mind, and then you do all those infinitesimal little choices in life that lead you there. What I learned from your retreat was the idea that if you have a vision board in front of you, make a plan, take incremental small steps. I wish I had done this 30 years ago, because it's amazing to think about how much that process would have accelerated for me if I'd put the kind of purposeful effort and vision behind it that you taught at the workshop that we had. It was one of the best investments I think you could make.
The vision board was really surprising to me. It helped me get back in touch with what's really personally meaningful for me. So that was very powerful. Also today I got back on track with my business, and I was able to see the larger aspect of what I want to accomplish. And that was really helpful for me, because I've been saying I can't see. And so in the middle of all of this, I realized what a metaphor that was.
The biggest gift that I got was clarity. Real clarity about not only what my goals are, but seeing them as well. And I've got that in two different ways. Number one, I've got all these goals written down now. So it's all mapped out, and for the most part, all the little action steps that I need to take to get to them are written out as well. But more importantly, with the visioning board, now I've got something that I can look at and say, this is what you get when you accomplish each of these goals, and this is what you're working for. This will be your end result. And the big shift for me is simply that I'm much more focused and much more determined to achieve them now than I was a month ago. It's worth the investment of time. It's worth the investment of money. It's worth the investment of effort.
I think what was great about this for me was a strategic plan. I've never actually, taken a figure of what I wanted to make and worked backwards. I thought that was like the biggest revelation for me, that to start at 5 years and work back. Usually as an entrepreneur, you're like dealing with day-to-day issues, and maybe you can see out a couple months, but I thought that was fantastic, because I originally wrote down a number and then I scratched out and I doubled it, because I realized, really, we can do whatever we want. We can make what we want to make. And the other thing I realized is just what you really need is the dream and the resources. And if you know the people to go to get the information to reach your goal, there's no way you can't get there. This was fantastic for me. Thank you.
Amazing. Something you referenced earlier, which was Stephen Covey's statement of begin with the end in mind. He was saying that effective people begin with the end in mind, and I believe that's true, and that's what you've been teaching us to do today. Those things are huge, having that vision. Now I can really kind of anchor to that, and then we obviously went through all these intermediate steps on how you get to the vision, but for me, having the vision in those forms is major.
I do have a really huge vision of having a major retreat center. And I don't know where it's going to be, but I know exactly what it's going to look like. And I don't know what my path is going to be, but I feel like I at least know how to build the next step. Having the board to remind me, and then also having, just chunking it down to the next smallest. And I'm really grateful for all of it.